Hi, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Hi, Ruth. And again, I want to make sure that you're good. How are you doing? Are you checking in on yourself and your feelings? And if not, you should. But I thank you for coming back. Today, we have a new guest called Roloe.
What
Roloe.
up, y'all? What up?
Hey, dude. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
What made you want to come on?
So yeah, again, I saw you on. I saw you did an interview with one of the homies, Buller Eats, shout out, and also Caesar, and I just really liked the energy and the way that like it was conducted and everything, and it was just like it felt like a calm, kind of just like two people talking, not like because most of the time I think some interviewers like forget that. Hey man, we got personal or like other stuff too, So it felt like a calm vibe. So I wanted to reach out and just give you congratulations and see if I could be a part of it,
Oh my God. Thank you. I love that is what's like being admitted and transferred out there. Because that's exactly what I want is a little safe space for people to just talk about themselves.
No, that's dope too.
Yeah. Everyone like puts out their projects, which is great and beautiful, but also like, how are you on the inside?
Yeah.
Aside from the outside.
Yeah.
And then I asked you what you wanted to drink and you said modelos. And I got a huge ass pack only because I thought there might have been more people. I'm not an alcoholic, I swear. Well, it's debatable. But
yeah, I'm a little bit too. So we're all good on that note. I thought there was going to be more people too. Fabian, you suck for not showing up.
Fabian, what the fuck? All right, here you go. Oh, you know what else I didn't get? Bottle opener, but that's fine. Oh, you got one?
I got one on my keys.
Fuck yeah. I should have one on my keys. There's the first proof. Por favor.
That's for you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Oh, this is so calming and refreshing. I love it. For
it's Sunday too.
I know.
Yeah, we gotta.
Shit.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yay. Yeah. I like IPAs, but like this is just good sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's like every time I go to a bar and like they don't really have anything that like interests me or like I'm just like always safe spot Modelo. Like
can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Add a little lime, boom. Rolo, how old are you?
I am 25, about to turn 26 this year.
Oh shit, when's your birthday?
November 24th.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What does that make you?
Sagittarius.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? I'm stay quiet. I'm just kidding.
Canceled. Episode canceled. Canceled.
We're done. That's a wrap. Where are you from?
So basically born and raised in Canoga Park, California. But I moved around a lot as a kid. So Reseda, North Hollywood, Silmar, San Fernando. Yeah,
that's a lot of moving.
Yeah, my mom moved a lot as a kid, so. But Canoga's for sure where my heart is. My grandma and my grandparents lived there. Aww. So, anytime things got rough at home, that was like my safe space, and I could always count on them being there. And she practically raised me, so it was dope.
Grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
And they still live there now?
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Where does your mom live now?
She lives in like North Hollywood area, like on the cusp of it. But yeah, like North Hollywood.
Do you feel like moving around made you guys closer? Or how was that like as a kid?
It was moving around for different reasons.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of made us further apart because in my eyes, it was like, why can't we stay at one place? You know what I mean? Like
you had questions. Yeah. She was like, you just got to follow me.
Yeah.
I know what we're doing.
Yeah. It was like, got to follow the mama duck. You know what I mean? So just had to get in line. But overall, growing up, like now, it's like way better. Like I ask questions, she explains it. And I no longer hold that, within me. Because I know she was just trying to do the best that she could with what she got. So.
At what age did you finally like see your mom as a person, like as their own person and not just mom? I'm like, oh, like it's hard. Not that it's hard, but I feel like at a certain age, once we get older, we're like, oh, okay, you are also fucked up and you have your own issues. And I kind of have to give you a little grace instead of anger and frustration because I never got it as a kid.
Yeah. That's a really good question. I think I saw it early on. Like, but again, it came with like the anger of like, I know you got your shit, but I'm a kid
What
too.
about
Like,
me?
yeah, like I gotta be looked out for too, right?
Uh-huh.
But I think it started when I was like 17. I would want to say 17 when I like finally was like transitioning from all the bullshit as a teenager and started working towards this dream, like, you know, and I was like, man, fuck, it's fucking hard out here. Like, Jesus,
Oh,
what you
then
mean?
you saw
What
that
you, yeah.
struggle.
I was like, what you mean I gotta pay insurance every month? Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God, having a car is a scam and I hate it. I hate it.
And well, to our beautiful people, it's a privilege to drive a car, not
This
a
is
necessity,
true.
which is stupid in my eyes, but whatever. But yeah, I think around 17, I started really like giving my mom a little more grace and a little more understanding with who she was and what she had to deal with, regardless of her actions. You know, I just kind of was like, damn, it's cool, mama. Don't trip. Like, you know,
Yeah,
you know,
Oh,
but
that's sweet.
yeah.
That's good that you didn't like hold on to any negative feelings. I always wonder what keeps people holding on to that anger for so long. Yeah. And are you close with your dad at all?
No, dad not in the picture. He got arrested when I was 1, and I haven't seen him since I was 5. We used to go visit him up like in prison, but
Yeah.
when he got transferred out and then he got deported.
Oh,
So
fuck.
yeah,
That's terrible.
yeah, it's all right.
From your memories, do you remember him like what do you picture him?
Well, I mean, I have pictures.
I mean, I've seen him, but like, do you see him as like I don't know. How do you process a dad that isn't there?
I see him as a man that had trouble, and he's not a bad person. Like, you know, I used to have resentment. Like, you weren't there, you couldn't put down, you know, your pendejadas, you know, like to come and for your family, you know, like you had a son on the way, like how dare you. But then as I got older, I'm like, that shit's scary. Like, I don't even have kids, and I'm like, I don't really want kids, but I like that fucking thought of it is just scary. But I remember him vaguely. I remember a lot of bus stations and snack machines waiting for the bus ride to go see him, you know. But more just the memories that I did have with him, they were never bad. So, you know, I can never say that he was like a deadbeat or, you know, any of those like words. I would never describe my father like that. But, you know, is there a part of me that wishes that I had a father, you know, growing up? Of course, you know, like every young boy needs a father figure, you know. That's why I'm grateful for my cousins and like my brothers and all that stuff. So
they were that for you.
Yeah, they for sure. They had their own shit. Don't get me wrong. They would disappear from time to time, but you know, when they were there, they could be there, you know. So that was dope, you know. But no,
something's better than nothing.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I hold no like resentment in my heart. Like, he had another kid out there, you know, because I'm half Mexican, half Salvi. So that's my father's the Salvi side, so he's in El Salvador. And he had another kid out there. He has a family, you know. I'm like, cool, man. Just do your thing.
That's so interesting. And you didn't feel any kind of like resentment towards that?
Nah, man. It was interesting too, because when I was like 15, 16, he was talking about coming out here. And he was like, oh, like, I have a chance. Like, I'm going to pay, you know, I'm not going to say on camera, but yeah, you know, and I'm going to come over there. And I was like, for what? And he's like, what do you mean? Like, to be a part of your life. And I was like, nah, man, you got a son that's like 4 years old right now. He needs you more than I do. Like, I'm 16. I'm figuring this shit out already. You're gonna come and what? We're gonna go fishing for like a weekend, and then
I have to go to work.
Yeah, and then I gotta go to work. Yeah, you know. So I'm like, and then you gotta find a job. Like, we're gonna spend more time hustling apart from each other than we are gonna do spending time together. And I was like, and don't do that, kid, the way you did me. Go be there for my half brother. Like, go. Like, you need to do that. So, like, at a very young age, I kind of like, I always had that emotional, I guess, intelligence to like kind of like differentiate like what I need and what other people need.
Yeah.
You know,
whether you could be like okay without it.
Yeah.
That is so like amazing of you to give them the okay, and that's probably him feeling like some form of guilt for not being there for you.
Yeah.
And then you being like, no, I'm good. And like you started your life and you can, and then for him to like a lot of people either view marriage or like getting old as like whatever's happening now in our either middle-aged life is going to be it for the rest of your life. But it's
Yeah.
like, no, people can change and you can start a whole new life. Like there's so many endless possibilities that people should not feel guilty about doing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no, 100%.
yeah, like he's wait, so you're still in contact with him? You still reach out from time to time?
He's currently back in prison. So oh yeah, so I haven't talked to him in maybe 7-8 years.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, so yeah, I think he went away when I was like 18.
Gotcha.
I haven't talked to him since. But
Oh.
I mean, I still got love for him.
What about your half brother? Did they?
Half brother. I mean, we talked to him like you know, on WhatsApp and stuff. He'll send me some text messages and we'll talk a little bit. You know, he'll check in on me. And I'll check in on him.
Do you have any other siblings?
Yeah, I have. He's more like my stepbrother for my stepdad, with you know, who was married to my mom, but he lives in South Carolina now. But man, I met him when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and we were like this, like, you know, he was actually the one who got me into rapping, because he was he would just freestyle and like in the living room, you know, smoking his little blunt, like, you know, just trying to like, you know, get in the mix and shit. He's a lot older than me, you know. Yeah. He's so I'm 25, he's 31. So like, you know, when I was 5, he was like 12, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, yeah. So,
oh yeah. So you look up to the older kid.
Yeah. So, you know, he's already smoking and I'm right there like, you know, just a 6th grader, like, that's crazy. Like, I think I can rhyme too, you know? And excuse me.
Yeah, we're gonna burp a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so he got me into the rapping stuff. We would just be in the freaking living room, like rap battling each other or whatever, you know. And but then I started realizing, well, he actually told me, like, you know, after like a long freestyle session, he told me straight up, dude, you're good. Like, you have something there. If you practice it, you can actually kind of maybe do something with it. And I said, all right, cool. But I knew music was something that I wanted to do at a very early age, because I can't go a day without music. Like, I wake up, put on music, shower, on my way to work, driving, music. When I get to work, I put in my freaking AirPod, music all day. Yep. When that dies, I switch it all day. Then when I'm driving home, music. Like, the only time I'm not listening to music is probably when I'm like watching a TV show or a movie or something, you know? Yeah,
I'm the same way. I don't know if it's just background noise or something, but I just need, it's like, even to fall asleep, I need to have something on. And that's like, and I'm sure other people do that too. How can you, do you listen to the same songs, or do you have like different playlists for how you feel? How do you pick a song?
So when it's a new song, or like maybe just a song I haven't heard in a while, I get like fixated on it. So I will like, I will on repeat. Like, that's a part of the brain. I don't know what like, you know what I mean? But 'cause some people can't do that, but like I do that. Like, you know, I'll listen to it like 20, 30 times a day. And but for me, picking a song is just, like, I have multiple playlists, but there's one like specific big one that I just like, it has all kinds of music in it. I'll just hit shuffle in the morning. I don't like it, I'll skip it, and I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, this is the vibe right now. Yeah, you know. But I listen to everything though, except country. Sorry,
everybody, you know.
Sorry, country so artists, but man, I can't rock with it.
That takes me back to high school when everyone's like, I like all kinds of music, but fuck country. Country's not my shit. I don't know what it is that we got against country. But okay, what's one genre of music that you don't think people would expect you to like?
Maybe like,
give me some Taylor Swift. Give me some.
Nah. I mean, I know like Love Story. That's about it. But maybe just like the Led Zeppelin, like the Pink Floyd.
Okay.
You know, Aerosmith, shit like that, like the rock bands.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I give off rocker vibes, you know what I mean? They're probably like, he's in the corner listening to Too Short and shit, you know? I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then, you know, I got, you know, Beyonce, Keisha Cole in there. Ooh, like, you know, I like
the classics.
Yeah, like I'd listen to everything, like TLC, like,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, you know, like I ain't got no shame in my game, man. I'll be riding down the street listening to freaking
some Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole, yeah. Freaking,
That's great.
yeah, all of it, you know.
Yeah.
So
So I'm glad that you brought up emotional intelligence, because I conjured up a bunch of questions. As you know, my podcast is mostly just letting some bullshit out, or not bullshit, your emotions and your feelings, which are very valid. And then I wrote some down that I'm very curious to get your take on it. Like, do you? Okay, let me get my fucking thoughts together.
Get it together.
God
Yeah,
damn.
we good.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you with like expressing yourself to others or to your friends or others in general?
To my friends and to my friends that are like family, very comfortable. I think I tend to hold back sometimes, maybe, just in the sense of not sharing it then and there or like when I'm feeling it, because sometimes emotions are high and you might say some shit that like maybe isn't really that true.
Right,
you know?
You get reactive.
Yeah, you know, yeah. So I kind of tend to like let things like simmer down, and then if it's still affecting me a day or two later, I will like, you know, whatever, we're out eating or, you know, we're just hanging out in the garage working on the car, having a beer or whatever. I'll be like, hey, dog, like, what do you think of this? Like, I'm feeling like this and this and this, you know, and they'll just kind of give their feedback, you know, and you know, I think I'm good in that way, but with strangers, man, I'm a complete blank face. Like, people have told me, like, are you ever happy? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you walk around like you're fucking pissed all day. And I'm like, that's just my face, man. Like, I can't fix my face. Yeah, like, you know, so, but expressing myself, sometimes I think there is a struggle. Like, I think romantically, it's a struggle for me.
How so?
I think sometimes I try to take on too much and like try to be everything all at once without even expressing like, hey, what you did back there kind of bugged me. And I'll be like, oh, just shrug it off, like, you know. And then when maybe arguments arise or, you know, things aren't going well, it all kind of spews out. And they're like, what the fuck, where was all this? Like, why didn't you explain it to me? Or what are you feeling? And I'm like, nah, I'm good, I'll get over it, it's cool. Like, you know, I put on my little like,
God, why do you guys do that? I can fucking experience all this from the other side, where I'm like, what the fuck? Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see the female version of it, like the side of you, like, how do you guys process that when like the dude tries to just be that, you know what I mean? Like,
well, we don't know that you guys are being that until there's an argument, and then all of that fucking comes up, and we're like, what the fuck? I thought we were cool. I didn't know that this thing still bothered you or even bothered you at all. Had I known it bothered you, I would have loved to hear about it in the moment so that I acknowledge your feelings and know that you're feeling some type of way, and then hopefully you feel better about that. Because if you don't feel better about that, then you're putting it in the fucking reserve. And then once you're not feeling better, you're like, oh yeah, and this didn't make me feel better, and this didn't make me feel better. So it's really just like to take things out of the reserve, and just so you can process it too, and I can process it with you, and I can see you and be like, oh, and learn more about you, where I'm like, oh, okay, so me doing this thing hurt you. Got it, putting it down. Or if like, then if it happens again, then you can be like, oh, so you really don't care, you're not listening. So there's just like following steps, but the first initial step is talking about it. But I understand. Well, I don't understand, because I don't understand why you guys keep it in, because it's so like small, you know, and maybe that's why, because you guys don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But all the little things matter.
Yeah, I'm learning that for sure.
Stand by
yeah, I think for the like on the guy side, I'm gonna say that there's just this overwhelming feeling of, nah, it's cool. Like, you know, but it's not in the sense of we want to like hurt you or like keep it in on purpose. So like we feel like the macho man, you know. Oh, I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for every guy, right? But I don't do it to like feel like more of a man. I do it because I'm just like, I'll take the hit. Like, it's fine. Like, you know, we're going to get through this. You know, I'd rather see it out on the other side. You know, did it bother me? Yeah. But is it worth blowing some shit up for? Nah. So let me just internalize it. You know what I mean?
So you guys are thinking more of the now. and not really how it's going to affect you later.
You know, I think it's like, let's get through this hump, but we're not seeing the fucking 15 that are down the road, you know?
No, women, we overthink a lot, and we think of the future. We're like, nope, this motherfucker is going to bring this up later. And we got to talk about it now. And you're like, no, let's just fucking get over it so we can be happy again.
But see, why do y'all do that, man? Just live in that. Just live in the now, man.
Because we're stressed about it. Now we're worried. Well, I don't know. At least me. Overthinker like a motherfucker, and I'm gonna overthink my actions and how they make you feel. You know, maybe that's why women and men will never come to a solid understanding.
Nah, but the right one will, man. The right one will, like, you know, they'll humble you for sure. You know, when you're in a healthy relationship, you're like, oh shit, I was doing this shit all wrong. What the fuck? You know what I mean? But like, you know, that's for sure,
dude. And you said do you think that of what you said of like how they're just like, oh, whatever, it's not that big deal, we can get over it now. Is that something that you feel like you had to do through childhood or through your whole life because society has this view of like what masculinity should be? So you guys need to like kind of abide by that image?
That's a good question. For sure, I think I had to do it. So I had like, again, like a rough upbringing. So, you know, even though mom was there, she wasn't. Even though then dad was absent, and just I grew up in a crazy environment. I'm just gonna like let you know that now, you know. But so even from early on, I don't think that I thought I needed to be the man, but I just needed to do what needed to get done. So I needed to step up regardless of like my position or what I thought at that age, because it was such an early age that I wasn't even thinking about being a man. I was just like, okay, like this is what I got to do. Like, I got to go sell these cans so we can pay the light bill. You know, I got to wake up and make breakfast for myself because mom's still knocked out. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of like those things that I had to do. And so now there's parts of me that still kind of do that. Like, oh, this is how men should be, you know, because that's the way I was raised, you know, with all my cousins and my brothers. They're like, man, just shut up and stop being a bitch, you know, like, man, stop, what the fuck you over there crying for, man? Like, get your ass up, you know? So there's parts of me that still do it, but there's parts of me that really know that, hey, man, sometimes you just don't got it. Like, you cannot carry that weight and that burden as a man, as a human, as anybody, as a human, thinking that you got to figure it all out by yourself. Yeah. Because you're not gonna. Like, I've met people 50, 60 years old that were like, I still don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm retired, I got money or whatever, or I don't got money, and like, or I'm divorced, I'm married, like, or I'm single, I've been single. Like, everybody's life is different, man. And you can't figure out what's already like set in stone for you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to try to solve the world, you're gonna lose sight of what's in front of you. So exactly,
it's like being present and just like accepting everything for how it is now, and not like never being satisfied because you always want more, even though you don't even know what that more is. I'm going on a tangent. But
no, you're good. But to answer your question, there's parts of me that still feel like I gotta man up sometimes, but then there's other parts that really understand that.
Do you think it was because kind of like a lack of practice? So like nobody really asked you how you were feeling as a kid. Do you think that might have changed how you process it?
For sure. For sure.
Can you remember being a kid and anybody asking you how you felt?
Nah, just maybe when you like fell off a ladder or some shit. You know what I mean? Like
physical fucking pain. Yeah, like you good?
Like the you all right?
All right.
Hey, shh. Grandma's coming. Grandma's coming. Shut the fuck up. Like, you know, like, because we know we're not supposed to be playing on the roof, dog. As a kid, nobody really asked me ever, like, hey man, how you doing? Like, you know, even in school, I think that's why I pushed school away so hard as a kid, because, you know, and it's crazy now because I work in education. So
shut up. Yeah. Where? How?
So I can't say the school, but but it's an elementary school, and it's really dope to be able to be, you know, school. Little babies. It's really dope to kind of like be in the sense of like whatever they need at that moment, even if it's like the dumbest thing. She's being mean to me. She want to play with me. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to like be in that moment with those kids, because I remember growing up, my teachers didn't give a shit. Like back in the day, man, these teachers, I feel like were just pushing us through, you know. And I mean, people have different experiences with school. This was just my experience, you know. And that's where like I remember, like, nobody asked me how I felt at school. Nobody asked me how I felt at home. So I was just like, cool, I'm gonna just legit, like, just fucking just fucking
zone out.
Yeah,
I'm just here though.
Yeah, I'm just
going
here, like going through life, right? Like I gotta get through the 3rd grade. Cool. Like I gotta do this fucking timetable sheet and
just dissociating and numb ourselves out, and then having fun with our friends, because that's the only bit of positivity and emotion and feeling that we do have.
So it for sure came from that. It came from a lot of nobody asking me how I really felt. So nowadays, like when people do ask me that shit, I'm like,
do you know how to answer that now?
Depends on the context, I think.
Okay, let's practice.
All right.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling right now?
Right now?
How you doing?
Man, I feel blessed, man.
Oh.
I feel blessed to be here. I feel blessed. Like I had an amazing weekend. You know.
But overall, is there anything stressing you out?
Maybe just work, but I feel like that's, you know, it's kind of normal.
It's the usual.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like, okay. Even right now with, I don't know how you feel. I feel like I've been barely trying to survive, and I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat of like barely making ends meet. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and I make decent money. You know, I should, but I also have a bad spending problem. Neither here nor there.
No, I want to ask you this: what do you think you spend your most money on? If you want to disclose that,
going out,
like eating and drinking.
Eating.
Yeah,
dude. Because once it starts with, I don't even want to look at my bank account, fucking and add up everything. I could have had a house by now with everything I've spent, but like it. But in my mind, I justify it because it's like, no, I'm having a good time. This is for the sake of my happiness or whatever the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Because, then what else do I have? It's just sitting at home, being bored and doing nothing. But I could for a greater cause. But it's hard. I'm very impulsive.
Me too.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
But you seem very level-headed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
really
that.
Like even down from the messages that you sent me, I was like, oh wow, look at this dude. He's aware. He's aware. You know, I don't know. There's something about you where it's like even the crazy past that you said that you had. You seem very like your soul has always been grounded.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's a very big compliment, because sometimes I feel like, you know, I'm not that. Like, you know.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I think I tend to. Maybe it's a little bit projecting. And like how other people perceive me, because a lot of the time, especially when I like started wilding out with the tattoos, it was always, what do you know? You look like some ghetto street kid, you know what I mean? So then, and I heard that my whole life. So then now when I walk into rooms, that's not now, before. When I used to walk into rooms, that's kind of how I felt like people would like look at me, and I'd be like, fuck. Like, but now I'm like, man, I know shit. Like I'm smart, dog. Like,
I know some shit.
And fuck you if you don't think it. Like, you know, like, so no, I gained confidence over the time. That's but good. You know, yeah. So,
how did that make you feel growing up? Like, do you feel like you were always kind of set up to live in this box, being a Latino, being in the Valley, and just that? You can add anything else, but even just those two things.
Yeah, for sure. I think I've seen a lot of my family, my friends, you know, early childhood friends, grow up and live in the box. And that's where I was headed in my early teenage years, like at like preteen to teenage. That's where I was headed. Like, and I knew it while I was doing it. But I was like, what else? What other choice do I have? And I gotta look out for myself. Man, I was like forced to pay rent at the age of like 14.
14?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so.
How?
Well,
what did you do?
I was doing some things.
Okay.
And mom found out, and she said, if you're gonna be doing that, well, then you better be pitching in.
14. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So, but then I kind of just woke up one day and I was like unhappy with myself. And I was like, man, I'm fucking out here doing wrong, man. And then I was always like, you know, I was freestyling. Like we would be on the block, like freestyling, kicking it, getting drunk. And everybody would tell me, they'd be like, hey, man, Rolo got the fucking, man, he's sick with it, whatever, blah, blah. And I'm just like, cool. And one day I woke up and shout out to Uvier, my guy, that's my boy, Avi. He gave me a call one day and he's like, hey, man, I got some studio equipment. I'm figuring out how to use it. And I know you be rapping and shit. So why don't you come through? Like, let's make a song. Like, let's do something. And this is back in like 2020. And we did it. And I was like, fuck yeah, this is my way out. This is what I'm going to do now. Yeah. So I like fucking kicked that box to the side. Like I fucking kicked through it, you know, like because
fuck that box. I'm not gonna live in that.
And I never did it again. Like I trying to change whatever that narrative was of me growing up, but without losing who I am. Like I still got the tattoos. I'm still proud to be Latino. I'm still proud, you know, to be where I you know, and that's a big thing right now. Like, and I think a lot of people should be more proud. You know what I mean? Especially at like these kind of times right now. You know what I mean? It's
getting scary. This is when we need to stand strong and together and loudly, because there's a huge majority of us that are hiding right now because they can't.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's when I feel like people like us with a platform, you know, should be speaking out
with the privileges that we have, which is even being able to speak out and not being afraid of like being deported, being fucking 100%. Any of that. I forgot. Do you want another here?
Oh yeah, I will.
We got on a tangent again, and I love it. But yeah, fucking the experience of expressing or even someone asking you how you are. And you know what? That's kind of how this podcast started. Was because it was just at work, and in the mornings we always have a little smoke break. Everybody. And we'd all just like gather in this alley, and it was the only place we could all smoke, so it was really tight. Like the wall's like right here, and we're just all sitting on buckets staring at this wall. And every morning I'd be like, "So how's everyone's day? How are we doing?" And we see each other every day for like 3 months. So at some point it got real, and I was just like, "Fuck, man, I had a really shitty time. Like my dad did this, and then we were arguing, and then." They started telling me about their things, and we never really came to a solution. It was never a thing of like trying to fix each other's problems, but just like letting it out and accepting that either we felt angry or hurt or sad or even tired. And then just acknowledging that it kind of like separates it from us. It's like, oh no, we're not a depressed person. We're not low energy. It's just like we're going through this thing. And then, you know, I don't know. Yeah. Self-awareness is crazy, and I forgot why I brought that up. Also, I have ADHD, so I forget things a lot. I'm sorry.
I do too. No, you're good. My brain's fucked up too. Don't worry.
So if you're trying to follow me and you get lost, my bad.
You're good. I'm the same way. You should see me trying to write a fucking song. Jesus Christ.
Tell me about that. How do you write a song?
I used to start with lyrics, but now I think now my process is throw the beat on. Like I kind of close my eyes and just like feel it, hear it. If I see a melody there, I will follow it. If not, I'll change the beat. And then when I finally find one for sure that I know, I'll start humming, like, and then I'll like kind of what I want to talk about. So then I'll follow that and I'll freestyle for like 3 minutes. And people who've like sat there, like Fabian and Avi and like just people close to me, sat there and watched me record, I'll freestyle for like 3-4 minutes, like straight. And then they'll be like, that was fucking amazing. Why didn't you record it? And I was like, well, I don't know. So then I'll use a small part of it, right? And then I'll do the hook and like I'll start like talking about it. And then I'll do the first verse. And then I'm like, nah, we'll do that again. Then I rewrite it, and then I write the second verse, and then I like swapping them, and then I'm like, and then I'm like, I think a bridge would go here. Like it's just, it's a whole process, and people are like, I don't know how the fuck you do what you do.
I don't know what
Like,
you're doing.
yeah, this seems exhausting. Like I'm exhausted watching you, but to me, I'm like energized. Like it's like,
which is great.
yeah,
'cause
it's my happiest place for sure.
Aw.
The studio is like, that shit saved my life, man.
Mhm.
You know, for sure. I fucking love that place.
For writing, so it's like a feeling that you just follow. You can't even like, you just like sit there almost meditative, in a meditative state, and then you just let whatever comes flow through you.
Yeah.
That is beautiful, and that is great, and that is where I feel like a lot of people can find their passions, by just following the feeling.
100%.
Just like the same way that you like were feeling bad when you were doing something that like went against your morals, or just went against who you were at your core, even though you probably didn't know it at the time, but like something in you was like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, this
And
ain't.
yeah, following the yes.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's really, yeah, it's really dope.
And so, how often do you do things that make you uncomfortable?
Cheer right now.
Fair.
I think I don't think I do it enough, but I think I'm starting to do it a lot more. Like in the sense of performing, in the sense of meeting new people, networking, and doing things like that. I'm an extrovert introvert, so yeah, like
we need to recharge.
Yeah, like when my social battery's out, I'm like, I just want to go home. I want my fucking swap meet tiger blanket, and I want to throw on some Hulu and just chill. You know what I mean?
Just be in your little safe space.
Yeah, and but now I'm starting to realize there's no time for that. Like,
you think so? Why?
Not that there's no time for it, but when there is, you just got to do it. Like, you know, when you go home and it's time to sleep, fucking sleep.
Ugh.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I have the most fucking trouble doing.
It's
I'd be waking up at like
hard.
2 a.m. and I'm like, just go to sleep.
Well, now I'm
Just
wide
go to
awake.
sleep. No, I'm good. Fucking over here playing Angry Birds and shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing? I gotta wake up in like 4 hours for work. Like, you know? But
dude, sleep is so important.
it just, the networking thing is becoming such a huge part of like what I'm doing now.
Mhm.
So there's constant like, hey, pull up, like this blah 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 is gonna be here, and I'm like, oh shit, man, like, you know. Or sometimes like, I'm at work, are they still gonna be there when I'm off? And then I'm showing up in my freaking work clothes, like I'm a rapper. They're like, no the fuck you ain't. Like, yeah, like, yes I am. I got a day job too, man. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So it's becoming a lot more like, I want to say, yeah, like I'm doing a lot more uncomfortable things, I think, now than I was before. Before I was, because I have a studio in my room. Like, that's where I record all my music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like in my room.
Your
So
literal safe space.
yeah,
Nice.
so in my room, doing my thing. I mix and master all my stuff.
Mhm.
Like, so I don't really talk to anyone about like music at all. I'm just like, here's a new song.
Until you come out
Yeah.
with it and you're like, boop, boop, boop.
Yeah. So
Oh, so you do it all yourself.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Except for the beats. I don't do the beats,
Oh.
but you know, yeah. But mixing, mastering, like all
Yeah.
that stuff, I do it myself. So
And what's the rapping community like?
crazy.
Yeah.
No, but it's dope though. It's I think we're coming together a lot more now. Like, especially in the 818.
Mhm.
We're starting to show a lot more love to each other.
Mhm.
And I think that's important because we come, I think I can only speak for myself, but I think I come from a place where when other people start seeing you do good, they're trying to hate real bad, or they're trying to like wish bad upon you. And like, to see the rap community come together, especially in the 818, is fucking dope.
Mhm.
And, you know, most of us are, you know, Latino or Black. So we know the certain struggles of that.
Mhm.
And just showing each other love. But man, sometimes it's crazy. Sometimes it's a lot of fucking blunts, a lot of fucking alcohol, strippers, and fucking all
Late nights.
Yeah, late nights, early mornings, you know?
It is
Like,
exhausting. I
yeah.
don't know how you guys do it, honestly.
so I don't know. We're cut from a different cloth, man. Like, but you got to get used to it. I wasn't used to it at first.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was so uncomfortable. Like,
Mm.
there's a fucking girl like shaking her fucking glitter tits all over me. Like, what the fuck, man? Like,
You're like,
yeah.
why is this
Yeah.
normal for you?
Yeah, and but like a lot of a lot of people like think that's what it all is.
They think that's what it all
Yeah,
is.
but it's not. It's a lot of handshaking, like networking and being cool with people, and like staying up to 3 a.m. trying to mix your fucking album or your single, and fucking that. I'm not staying up 3 a.m. at a club every night throwing money. Like, you know, I know, yeah, you know, I know that's what you see when you like open your Instagram feed. You know, you see all these popular rappers making it rain in the club, but dude, that's not what it is, man. Like, how do you think you get there? Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be there, but I'm just saying, like, how do you think they got there, man? It's long nights. It's long nights, you know. But the rap community it's crazy, but it's also beautiful at times.
Yeah, the hating part, I'm starting to. My theory is that either it's the people just don't know or are not used to expressing love and support to other people, because they don't even do it for their own close people or for themselves. So it's just like, how can you speak a language that you've never learned how to speak? You know? So that's why I'm changing my mind to be like, oh, you are a hating ass, negative ass person. It's like, no, you don't know any better. And so that's okay. Let me show you. I can tell you, like, oh, what are you doing? That's great. I'm proud of you. You know? Yeah, I don't know.
Have you experienced any of that? Like doing this, like, you know, starting up a podcast, or like just in your regular life or childhood or something like that? Have you experienced like any people that have like maybe try to like downplay what you do or what you've been doing, and like how did you handle it? You know what I mean?
I have been my biggest enemy towards this.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm always questioning, like, fuck, is this even interesting for anyone else? And then I always have to ground myself back and be like, it's interesting for me. And then my people will find it, because as long as it's something that I care about, then it's going to be good. But for other people, no, I honestly have been like, I'm like a fucking like slippery thing. Like anything that tries to attach to me slides right off. Wow. You know, nothing sticks to me. I am so like secure of myself and my vision, but it's only because, and my movement. I've relabeled this a movement, because it's following the feeling. That feeling is so strong in me, and good things always happen to me when I follow that. So again, no, I haven't really experienced anyone being like, like, what are you doing? You know, they're curious and they're trying to understand. If anything, people who have been negative around in my life, it's really hard not to take it personal and to remind myself that is more of a them issue than a me issue. But I always take it in a little bit. But it's just practice. Yeah. Again, it's all practice.
100%. No, that's awesome though. That's awesome that because a lot of people aren't like that, you know? Like for instance, like you being slippery, I used to be one that shit would just stick on me. Like it was like leeches all over my body, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it took me a while to learn, like, just let that shit go.
Yeah, because like the very fucking interesting thing about it, and here I go being hippy dippy again, is like is that we all are living in our own experience, and so is everybody else. So like even if we perceive something the way that someone's like throwing something at us, it could not even be true. It might not even be a fact. It's just our perception of it. So like it's like we're all creating our own realities in our own world without even talking to each other and being like, oh wait, so you didn't want to like, or, you know, coming, I don't know, to an understanding is kind of what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, no.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. Yeah, I'm following.
Because they're also like, oh, why is this guy trying to do the most? Doesn't he know that it's hard out here and everyone else is trying to do. And then that's just them being hurt. And then that's where you, unfortunately, have to be the bigger fucking person and be like, I love you and I support you in what you do, you bitch.
Yeah, there's to relate to that a little bit is it was crazy when I first started like making the music, because there was a lot of people that were kind of it's whatever. Whatever. He's a rapper now. Like I was like, bitch, I've been a rapper since I was like in 4th grade. Like I've been loving this. But you know, it's hard for you to see that sometimes is just their battle that they're dealing with. It has nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do with
you. It has nothing to do with you. And that's the craziest part, because for a long time, I felt like, man, y'all ain't showing love. Y'all motherfucking bitches. Like, you know, I mean, like, I put in my time and my effort into this, and nobody's showing love. And it's like, man, ain't nobody owe you nothing in this world, bro. So
I've heard that
yeah,
a lot.
yeah,
I've heard that a lot of people being like, man, my friends don't support me and this and that. And I'm like, you're doing this for you though.
Yeah.
Or else what are you doing it for?
Exactly.
So you can get fucking acknowledgement and credit that you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it took me a while to learn that, and especially like doing this. Sometimes you gotta show up by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Not all the time is there gonna be a brigade around you to like freaking hype you up and make sure you're good. You got to make sure you're good, like, and just check in on yourself, you know. So there's beauty in that, just kind of learning how to, again, differentiate those feelings and being there for yourself.
But also, building your foundation so that you're okay with being by yourself. I think it starts there, just being happy and fine with being alone.
Yeah.
Because if you need someone or something to distract you, there's a problem.
Yeah, there's a problem. And most people don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to fucking talk about it. Why do you think people don't want to talk about it?
I think they're scared of the truth. You know, I think a lot of people would rather suffer in the comfortability than explore anew, because new's scary. You know, new is fucking, you know, and growing up the way I did, I learned that shit. Like, something like when I finally felt comfortable, like where I was, something would change. And then I was uncomfortable. So then, like, new always fucking scared the shit out of me, you know? So, so this now that I'm doing, like, the fucking, like, the rap shit, like, it's fucking, everything's always new. There's new people, there's new artists, there's new fucking locations, there's new everything, you know? So
it's a lot to keep track
of. But like, to go back to your question, I think a lot of people are scared of the truth and scared to discover the actual root of the problem. And that's why I encourage everybody, man. It's not for everybody, but at least try it once. But therapy is a really good fucking thing.
Oh, God. Yeah. Therapy is so good for you. Yeah. And it's not that big of a deal. You're really just like fucking venting out to somebody, and they tell you, well, did you realize that maybe, and you know, they really break it down to what you're doing that you don't even see that you're doing it subconsciously. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah, fucking, hey, man, you might, I do, actually. I started this year. Or last year, I should say. Oh, I forget, we're in 2025 now. You might leave those offices crying a little bit, but and just kind of being like, man, I had a fucked up ass childhood. Like, or man, that person didn't love me enough. Like, but it's all right. Like, you're gonna get to the point where you're like, oh shit, that's fucking tight, man. Like, I didn't even realize that about myself. Cool. Now I can fucking.
What's something that you realized in therapy that you didn't acknowledge before?
Self-sabotage.
I was gonna cheers to that, but that's not something to cheers to. Cause same.
I do it a lot, and I didn't realize it until I started therapy, where it was something that I did without even knowing I did, you know, because once something started making me feel happy, or someone, I would be like, nah, fuck that, you're gonna leave. So I'm gonna just leave on my own terms and be the asshole in your movie and be like, cool, now I'm gonna make my own movie and you're gonna be not even a part of it or a motivation to start the movie. And I'm using the movie as an analogy, you know what I mean? Yeah, but and I just kind of started realizing that, and she's pointing that out to me, and then it led me to now where I am. Like, I can finally have relationships, you know, friendship or romantic, whatever that may be, or even partnerships, like, without feeling like I don't deserve it, and feeling like, man, I worked fucking hard to get here, and I fucking deserve this shit. I deserve to smile when I wake up. You know what I mean? And everyone does, you know? So that's why I encourage therapy, man. I encourage people to, you know, go find out shit that you never thought you knew about yourself. Yeah. You know, or maybe you did, but deep down you buried that shit.
Yeah, you were ignoring that little part of you.
Exactly.
And who knows what you might find. Fucking therapy, man.
Do you go to therapy?
I do.
You do.
I've been going for the last like 2 years. Before it used to be like every week, then it pushed on to every 2 weeks, and now it's like every 3 weeks. And I like when I started my whole therapy and events, I just knew I was a very angry person. Had just gotten out of a relationship, and I was terrible to him, and I was terrible to myself, and I was just so mad, and I never understood why I was like so uncomfortable and hated life and hated what I was doing. But then just breaking it, and she really had to like listen to me go off on all of my rants, but break it down into smaller pieces. And it's helped me understand my father, understand myself and how I react when I'm triggered, and what I should do when I am triggered. Like, like when someone upsets you, the first thing you want to do is like cuss someone out, whoever wronged you, right?
100%.
But that is not the proper way to go about it. Like your body is angry and it's telling you, hey, something wrong was done and you should do more like digging to figure out what specifically it was, so you can know, hey, that's a boundary that I have. Don't fucking do that. And, you know, and then expressing that in a way where it's not attacking them. You're just, it's really hard. to like process your emotions, and it takes a long time, and it never ends, which is annoying.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't, because there's new emotions every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I mean, but that's really dope, though. Like that. I mean, that you were able to. A lot of people can't recognize, hey man, there's something wrong with me. I think I gotta figure some shit out.
Oh yeah, and that's what she helped me realize, was that it has nothing to do with me. Everything that these people are doing, anything that people are doing, has nothing to do with me. And the only thing that I can control is how I process it or how I want it in my life.
Damn, did we go to the same therapist?
Yeah! I'm telling you, everyone needs to go to therapy. It's like the same, it's just the universal concept of how to process your emotions that a lot of us did not learn how to fucking do.
Yeah, because my mom, she be telling me the same thing. She be like, man, what you got to realize is these people, it has nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, like, she kind of like put it into perspective of, your boss fucking yelled at you 20 minutes in the morning or whatever. Like, you don't know that his fucking childhood dog just died, or you don't know his wife is like, you don't know if he's on the midst of divorce. Like, you know what I mean? People are having bad days. You got to ask yourself, what did you do? Did I do anything wrong to piss this person off? If not, let it fucking go.
Yep.
Let it go. Because you know damn well at the end of the day, that wasn't me. I had nothing to do with your little outburst.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to continue living because I know I didn't do anything wrong.
Yep.
And that's all it is. And a lot of times, people don't recognize that.
Do you think it's ego?
With what?
Why we take things personally?
I think maybe it's a little bit, and I think it's a little bit of fear too. It's a fear of like, maybe like, having
like
people, maybe like having people upset with you. Maybe if like you're one of those people that don't deal with like upsetting someone very well, then you go into that mindset of like, how do I fix it? Like, what did I do wrong? Like, talk to me, tell me about it. Like, you go into this overdrive of like trying to fix everything.
Yeah.
And when it has nothing to do with you, so there's nothing to fix.
Boom, we're just stressing ourselves up.
Yeah, no exactly.
Reason.
At the end of the day, sometimes you gotta just let that shit breathe.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back to you and be like, hey man, my bad, I was being a dick. Like, I just had a stressful morning. And you're like, nah, you're good, man. Don't even worry about it. There's so many times where, I've had, certain things happen with like, a female, and, she's just fucking going crazy. Like, I didn't like how you did that. I don't know. And before I would like fight back. Now I'm like, all right, I'm sorry. Like, why don't we come back to this? And then when we come back to it, it's more, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just like, no, you're fine. Like, how about we sit down and fucking talk about it? Like, I understand you had a stressful day. I understand you had whatever like is going on, with your family. That shit got nothing to do with me. Like, you ain't got to come at me like that, I understand it, and I'm here for you, but let's work on that, And then the same with me, I mean, when I lash out, sometimes I get a little, aggressive or, agitated, and I'm like, fuck, I was being a dick. Like, even with my friends, like, I call them up. one of my favorite songs is it's called Simba.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Better Days. He says in like the chorus, he goes, "It's okay to call your partner and apologize. Like it's okay to tell people like, hey man, my bad. You know what I mean? Like it has nothing wrong with that. It doesn't show weakness, and I think a lot of people mistake that for weakness.
Yes,
you know, nah, when you're wrong, man, make that call. Be like, hey, dude, man, I'm sorry, man. Like I was just being a dick. Like I had a stressful day. Like. And whatever that question, I think, just triggered something in me, or whatever, whatever conversation we were having triggered me. But I'm not upset at you, bro. And I understand if you're upset at me, but I'm telling you, I'm sorry. Let me buy you a beer, like or let me buy you lunch,
it's
or whatever.
Creating the safe space, taking accountability for the sake of building a stronger relationship,
for sure,
and building a stronger sense of self, because then you're facing your fear by dealing with having an uncomfortable conversation, and we grow so much by just having those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dude. Oh my god.
I think I grew a lot when like I said, I was raised by my cousins and like my brothers and stuff. So, shout out to him on my chain. He recently passed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I think I grew a lot emotionally after that. Yeah, man, I think I never want anybody to experience grief, but grief will fucking change you. But it's either it's gonna change you for something better if you let it. You know what I mean? Like it's understanding. Man, life is bigger than whatever the fuck you think is going on right now. Yeah, like
you know,
you know what I mean.
Nothing takes me out of some bullshit more than being like, oh, I'm just a speck that's here for like half a second, and then so just like none of this matters. Why am I wasting time on shit that's like anything less than love and having a good time with people I love?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, shout out therapy for fucking giving me more compassion for others and myself.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, but it's such a dope step. And it took me a while to get there, especially because Latino culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is therapy? What is depression, man? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like, no eres loco, you're fine.
Yeah. Tómate una 7-Up, you're fine.
You think you had a heart?
Yeah, I had to walk 10 miles to school, homie. Like, all right, like I get it.
Let me feel sad, goddammit.
Oh, like God.
Well, how would you think?
Oh shit, I loved it.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to share with the people?
As far as anything, man, first and foremost, love your fucking self. Do what you got to do and do what makes you happy. Don't ever let nobody fucking tell you can't do nothing. And a little promo for myself.
Yes.
My name is Roloe, aka Westside Pretty Boy. Your mama's favorite Sancho. But go stream my album. It's out now. Unavailable Love on all platforms. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all of that shit. It talks about relationships and just as the title says, unavailable love, when you're chasing something that maybe you can't grasp. And yeah, follow me on all my socials, Rolo_official on everything. Shout out to my team, Uvi, you're my God, Fabian, Zaire, and just everybody that backs me. And shout out to Ruth. She's lovely, man. I freaking appreciate her for having me on. And yeah, I'm gonna let you close it out, man. I appreciate it.
This was great. I never know what the hell is gonna happen when I come in here. I mean, I have like my set of questions. I think I asked you one or two.
Yeah.
But either way, the conversation flows, and I loved picking your brain and like getting to know. Love. I really hope more people in all over the world, but especially in the Valley, because this is the little community I feel like I can tap into.
Yeah.
I just hope and wish that all of y'all can tune into your emotions and allow yourself to feel. Ask yourself how you're feeling. Ask your friends if they're okay. Do a little check-in. I promise you, it's small and you might think it's stupid, but it matters. You might save somebody's life. Might save your own life. And you might build stronger relationships. You never know. You never know where it takes you. So follow the feeling. I love you. And I hope you guys have a good day. Okay, bye.